here in the consumer, we are able to identify different types of demographical factor, behavior analysis we are doing, how we can gather the information using the own source like family members' opinion, our friend circle, our colleague opinion, those who already purchased that car, okay, they are trying to collect information before purchasing the product. Company, whatever they are offering a product to end consumer, so if there is no demand, the production is completely waste. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Natesh, lecturer in Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the Unit 5, Section 1, first semester BCom, Consumer Behavior. Today my agenda. So you will get to know the meaning and types of consumer, what is exactly the meaning of consumer behavior. Okay, the chapter is which is related to consumer behavior, meaning and definition. Characteristic or features of the consumer behavior, the scope of consumer behavior, the importance of consumer behavior, moving forward one by one. Before studying the concept like consumer behavior, we must know the concept of what is consumer. So consumer, it is nothing. Those who are getting a utility or getting a consumption, okay, if you try to remove R, then it is a consume, right? So the consumer is always finally they are getting a product for their usage, okay? So here a consumer is an individual who buy product or service for personal use because they want to depend day by day, they are depending a number of products or service, okay? So that finally they are getting a benefit from the product or service, and not for manufacturer or reseller. The consumer, they are not purchasing the product with the intention for resale, right? So they are not manufacturing. Completely the consumer are depending on based on the product, the manufacturers, whatever they are offering a product for consumer sake. So of course they are trying to go for consumption or they are trying to go for usage, okay? So a consumer may be person or group of people such as household. A consumer may be a person or group of people because in the society we are able to identify number of consumers we are able to identify. So based on the individual person can also be or group of peoples also we can say it is a consumer. And similar needs not directly related to entrepreneur or business activity who are the final user of the product or service. So the entrepreneur or enterprise, company, organization, they are offering a product based on the consumer requirement need basis. So finally they are trying to get a benefit from the product whatever it is offered by the entrepreneur or company. Okay, so all the consumers consume the goods directly and indirectly to maximize the satisfaction and utility because the day by day they are depending number of product, okay, the frequent usage, the frequent purchasing. Why they are purchasing? Because of course they want to fulfill their, they want to get satisfaction, they want to go for utility, right? So that's what. Moving forward, so now there are two types of consumer we are able to identify. One is personal consumer or you can say individual consumer. So personal consumer means those who are fulfilling the personal requirement or needs, okay? So buying the product or service for his family or own or family, okay? So either they are purchasing a product for individual person or on behalf of the family also they are purchasing, they are trying to purchase the product, and even a family, complete family. And second type of consumer we are able to identify organizational consumer or commercial consumer, because in case of an institution sale which is directly focusing for the organization, so buy the product and service for manufacturing or reselling. So with the intentions for manufacturing and reselling, so they can also purchase their product, right? So moving forward, next, consumer behavior, because every product individual customers behavior, how it will be influencing for the marketing activity, okay? As a marketers, as a businessman, as a organization, they want to study the behavior of the consumer because you will get to know the concept what exactly the consumer behavior will, how it is changing, what factors will be influencing for the consumer behavior at the time of purchasing the product? Because we are not able to identify only one specific product. There are too many products is offered by the company. Okay, so the consumer, the fuzzle behavior, how it is keep on changing. Okay, so individual company, the company want to study the behavior. So before offering the product, they want to study the concept like behavior analysis they are trying to do. So the consumer behavior is helpful in understanding the purchase behavior, because the purchase behavior which is completely depending on the consumer, so that's what they need to understand, company want to understand. And preference and different consumers, so here the preference of the different consumer to consumer, their preference, their taste, their custom, okay, their wants, which is keep on change, right? So that's what they want, the company want to study. A consumer, we differ in terms of age, sex, educational, occupation, income, family setup, religion, nationality, social status, because here in the consumer we are able to identify different types of demographical factor, behavior analysis we are doing. Okay, so on the basis of psychography, okay, psychology factor also, which is completely the company want to study. So that's what have clearly specified here few factors what and all the company want to study. Okay, so because of this different background factors, we have different needs, and we only buy those product and service which we think will satisfy our need, because the consumer to consumer, which is keep on change, their preference will be changed, their wants will be changed. So that's what they want to study before offering a product for the consumer. In marketing terminology, specific type or group of consumer buying different product, okay, or variation of the same basic product. In the marketing terminology, when the specific type or when you are offering a product for specific customer, okay, you need to study. So there are different group you are able to identify. So how the buying behavior will keep on change towards their purchasing product based or need basis or want basis or preference basis, which is keep on change. So represent a different market segment. That's what the company are trying to go for segmentation. Segment is nothing but the total populations we are dividing into number of units, right? So moving forward, so there is one standard definition is given by, in the word of Angle, Blackwell and Manster, consumer behavior is the action, okay, and the decisions process of people who purchase goods and service for the personal consumption, because which is an action taken by the company. So they want to study, they are taking a right decisions towards the consumer behavior. Okay, so before offering a product or service, of course they want to study here. Okay, next there is one more definition. According to Shipman's, the consumer behavior is a defined behavior that consumer display in the searching for purchasing, using, evaluating and disposing the product and service that expect will be satisfy their need. So here the display whatever the consumer related, how the consumer are whenever they want to purchase, they are depending any product, they are trying to go for searching the product using some internet source or something which is related to reference group. Again they are evaluating, so they are not blindly purchasing the product. If there is any real requirement is there, if they want to fulfill their needs, of course they are trying to take a decisions here. Okay, so they are evaluating the each and every factors here. So the company want to go for studying. So simply if you are offering a product, finally the consumer, if it is not accepting, so offering a product is no use here. Okay, moving forward, the characteristic or features of consumer behavior. So here the first one, consumer behavior involve product, service, activity and idea. So which is based on the product, based on the service offered, based on the activity, based on the idea, the company how they want to study. So using the different characteristic here. So in the scope of consumer behavior, not only product like toilet soap, okay, so the consumer not only depending on the physical product, sometimes they are expecting a service or activity or idea, okay, are included, but also service like flying by an airliner, okay, and activities like getting children vaccinated polio, okay, and idea which is saying no or to drugs, okay. So there are too many concept which is related to the consumer. So of course the company want to study before offering a product for the end consumer. Moving forward, so there is second one, consumer behavior involve more than buying, because they are planning to purchase the product. How behavior after visiting the showroom, how behavior will be changed. So how the consumer are attracting, what basis they are attracting. So everything is which is related. So not only which is involved more than buying, okay. So before selecting any specific product, they are studying, why they are studying the consumer. So they are in the market, there are plenty of products, similar products are available. So everything they are evaluating. The consumer behavior is not restricted only to buying the offering. The company, whatever they are offering for the consumer sake, so the completely the company, the consumer are not blindly accepting. So they are trying to go for buying the offering. So based on the benefit, whatever it is there in the product or service. Okay, it include buying, acquiring the offer. Acquiring means what? The consumer are accepting the product or acquiring the products. Okay, so using and disposing. So here there are different types of consumer based on the product, whatever it is, the real requirement. If it is there means the consumers will purchase, otherwise they won't purchase. Okay, so usage has many connotations. Okay, so first one, it has an important symbolic implication for the consumer, because the consumers will find out what exact unique product if it is required to fulfill their requirement. So they are trying to go, and like the sari and the jewelry being put on by ladies in the wedding influence marketing strategy and tactic. Here the sari also one kind of which is a product, and even the jewelry also, there are million of product is offered for the end consumer. So how the behavior will be changing, okay, how the marketing strategy are setting towards the sari or jewelry. Okay, next one, it may also influence other behavior. So there are different types of behavior we are able to identify how they are behaving. Okay, the consumer how they are behaving at the time of after purchasing. Okay, so not satisfy the product or service may lead to consumer complaint and protest. Okay, here the consumer whatever they are trying to purchase with the help of distribution channel, with the help of middleman or wholesaler. Of course, if the product is not up to the standard, if there is no quality, okay, so if they are finding any defect, of course the consumer have a complete freedom to raise the complaint and go against protection. The consumer behavior also evaluate as how do consumers get out on offering they previously acquired. So after purchasing the product also the behavior also can be changed. So how you have to get an evaluation, because you are getting after consumer are, once they are acquiring that product, if they are really not satisfied, then they are spreading the message which is the wrong opinion is given by the consumer, so which will be lead to the complaints. Okay, so moving forward, so the third one, the consumer behavior is a dynamic process which is not a unique process, because we are able to identify there are too many types of consumers are depending too many different types of product. So which is a dynamic process. Okay, so which is not unique process. The consumer behavior is a dynamic because thinking, feeling, and action of individual consumer, because each and every consumer are unique, right? So they are thinking, how they are thinking, how they are feeling, how they are taking an actions to go for purchasing. Okay, so targeted groups and the society at large are constantly changing, because the few product is based on the segmentations only, based on the target consumers only, the company are offered. So that's what they want to study better. So here, for example, Maruti Suzuki produce number of cars, okay, as need and wants may change at a different time for different consumer group. Few consumers they are trying to go for just for sports vehicle, okay, or luxury product, or just basic requirement. So which is a different car is offered by the Maruti. There are different companies are based on the consumer requirement. Okay, so each and every consumers are unique, right? So their preference will be unique. Moving forward, now fourth one, consumer behavior involve interactions among many people, because the consumer behavior will be completely depending on the different types or many people, so how they are influencing at the time of purchasing. Okay, the consumer behavior does not mean action of single individual, because the individual is varied, the person to person, the consumer to consumer, their preference, their wants will be completely unique. So how many peoples can influence? Okay, those people's interactions may take place among the group of friends and few co-workers, okay, or entire family, or your colleagues, or your friend circles. Okay, so there are different types of peoples here, the many peoples, how they are influencing at the time of purchasing. Okay, so the individual may take a different role, individual consumers are taking a different role, right? So at the time of purchasing, acquiring a product. Okay, for example, to buy a car, the adult son may gather the information. How he can gather the information? Using the own source, like family members opinion, or friend circle, or colleague opinion, those who already purchased that car. Okay, they are trying to collect information before purchasing the product. So any product which is completely based on the informations only, their purchasing power or decisions will be depending. The younger daughter may influence the buying decision. The younger daughter also influencing for the son. Okay, the parents may also finally influence the son. Okay, and other people's, like family, other family members, or neighbors, or colleagues. Okay, so buyer, the car may be used by one or all member of family. This specific car, for example, the son is purchasing not for the complete family, so he is trying to go for his own decision. The company, whatever they are offering a car, okay, based on the family size, okay, the size, how many seat is required, what is a interior expectation, okay, everything they are deciding. Moving forward, fifth one, the consumer behavior involve many decisions, not only one decision. Now at the time of purchasing a product, there is a different questions will be arising. What product, when they are purchasing, where they are purchasing, whom they are purchasing, how they are purchasing. So different questions will be arising at the time of purchasing. So here few examples. The consumer behavior needs understanding whether to acquire, whether to use, whether to dispose of an offering. The company, whatever they are offering, okay, the consumer have a complete freedom to choose any product, freedom to purchase any product. So they are the first question will arise, whether. Okay, so and what to acquire, and what to use, and what to dispose. Okay, what kind of product they want to purchase, okay, how they are purchasing, how they are disposing. Okay, so next, why to acquire? Because if there is any real requirement is there, means the question will ask why to acquire, why to use, why to dispose of an offering or not. Okay, next question. Which time? The time period is very important. If the real requirement depending on the situation. Now, for example, they are in the summer season. Okay, if you don't have air cooler or air condition, at least one fan. Now it is the right time to go for purchasing the product. So the time base is also very influencing here. So where to buy? Okay, where to purchase? Okay, where exactly? If I'm not finding any showroom, there is no availability in my surrounding. I just want to where it is the product is available. Okay, so how to acquire? Oh, the way of acquiring, how to usage, how to disposing. Okay, so everything questions will arising one by one in the consumer mindset. And how much volume they are purchasing. In case of FMCG or day by day requirement, whatever it is there, for example, rice or grocery item, okay, or toilet item. So how many quantity they are purchasing based on the demand, whatever the real requirement is there, the value are decided by the volume are decided by the individual consumers. Okay, and how often, if the regularly we are depending, for example, when we are depending everyday food, so we need to purchase a food related item because acquiring is frequently you are purchasing the product. How often? Okay, and how long? Till what time, how long, because the decisions will be related to how long. Okay, and the consumer will buy and use, dispose and offering. There are too many questions at the time of purchasing. The consumer will ask themselves this many questions. Okay, now that is also very important influence here. And next, sixth one, consumer behavior involve exchange. Something, if you are offering something, you have to exchange. Something you are receiving, something you have to give. Okay, so here the consumer behavior involve exchange factor, and the consumer behavior involve exchange between human being. Now we, with the help of currency, we are trying to go for doing any transaction. Before introducing a currency, we are trying to go, we are depending on the barter system. Okay, either with the help of wheat we are exchanging rice, right? People give something of value to receive something of value. Value which is measured based on the measurement unit here. So whenever you are giving a value, the same thing you are expecting a value from the other person. Okay, so indeed the role of marketing is to help society to create value through the exchange, because the consumer, they are expecting a product every day. They need to purchase the product whichever is the frequently requiring purpose. So themselves they can't produce. Of course they are depending completely company. That's what the company, what they are doing, they are capturing the value from the consumers. So then finally they are offering a product for the end consumers. Exchange by formulating and implementing the marketing strategy, because such a way that the individual company are designing a marketing strategy, because they, which is offering with the help of society, the consumer also fulfill their requirements. Okay, moving forward for next concept. So next one, the scope of consumer behavior, because the scope, the company, they want to study what and all the important scope which is related to consumer. So first one, the consumer behavior and marketing management. So here there is a lot of demand which is complete marketing management to, they want to study the behavior of consumer. So the first scope which is related to consumer behavior and marketing management. So effective business manager realize the importance of marketing to the success of their firm, because unless you're not studying the consumer behavior, so the complete which is based on the consumer only, we are offering a product and service. So you need to study. So because you have to survive for a long period. So at the sound understanding of consumer behavior is essential to long run success of an marketing program. At the time of preparing a marketing program, of course you need to study the consumer behavior. So we are not blindly offering a product or service to the end consumer. So which is a sound study. You need to understand much better about your customer preference. Okay, you need to understand what is the real requirement. You have to understand the consumer needs and wants. Based on the needs and wants only, the firm is offering a product. Next one, consumer behavior and non-profit and social marketing. Consumer behavior, non-profit and social marketing. In today world, even the non-profit organizations like government agency, religious sectors, okay, and university and charitable institution have to market their service for idea to target group of consumer. That means actually here when you are trying to go for non-profit organization, okay, they are just for motivating the consumer. They want to protect the interest, so they are trying to offer a product so using this concept, okay, that is also very important scope here. Moving forward, so here the scope which is related to consumer behavior and government decisions making, because the consumer which is you are able to identify in the society, of course the government having a health responsibility here. They are taking related to consumer, they are taking decisions making. What kind of decision? There are two major decisions affected for activity. One is the first one, consumer government service. Here the government service, when they are going for the public service, it is increasingly, and the government provisions of public service can benefit significantly from an understanding of the consumer, because the government when they are providing a service for public service, okay, because too many companies are offering a product, if the government intervention is not there, means okay, the completely the consumers are facing a problem. That's what the government is given, which is nothing like a public service or user of this service. Second one, the consumer protection. Okay, the government of India, they passed one act which is already Constitution of India, which is related to the Consumer Protection Act. Okay, so because the consumer are depending too many product every day, so they want to protect themselves. That's why the government is made one protection act here, Consumer Protection Act. So many agencies at all level of government are involved with regulating the business practice for the purpose of protecting the consumer welfare, because there are too many product which is really useful for the customer, okay, or consumer. So you need to protect, that's why the government is introducing Consumer Protection Act. Okay, moving forward, so here the consumer, fourth one, consumer behavior and demarketing. The consumer behavior, because you need to study the scope which is related to the demarketing as well as consumer behavior. So demarketing is nothing but marketing is a promoting the product. Demarketing means actually they are going back. Okay, they are not promoting the product because of some scarcity we are finding the source. Okay, it has become increasingly clear that consumer are entering an era of scarcity in terms of some natural gas and water, because everything, the product is completely depending on the natural resource what we are getting from the natural resource. So that is only converting for final products. If there is any natural resource scarcity we are finding, of course the company are not motivating, they are not promoting the product. Okay, so again the company want to educate the consumer. Okay, so this scarcity have lead to the promotion distressing conversions rather than the consumption, because they here the scarcity we are finding because of natural resource scarcity only, the company try to go for demarketing. So the term demarketing refers to all such efforts to encourage the consumer to reduce their consumption of a particular product and service, because the complete one example, a natural gas and water, because which is not a renewable source, right? So in case of this particular product, any specific product which is when raw materials are facing we are finding any scarcity, of course they want to educate the consumers. Okay, they are try to go for reducing the consumption level. Fifth one, consumer behavior and consumer education, because it is also very important, the scope of scope when you are studying here, the consumer education, you have to educate them. So consumer also stand to benefit directly from the orderly investigation of their own behavior, because every consumers are unique. When you compare to one consumers to another consumer, they are unique, because how they are acquiring the information, the company they try to go for investigating based on the behavior. This can occur on an individual basis as part of more formal educational program, because if you want to educate consumers, so they want to conduct too many program which is related to the formally they are trying to educating the consumer, conducting a different types of program. Okay, so for example, when consumer learn that a large proportion of the billionaires spend annually on grocery product is used for impulse purchase and not spent according to the pre-planned shopping list, consumer may be more willing to plan effort to save money, because in case of food item, in case of grocery item, they are not going for planning because they want to consume. Okay, every day they are depending, that's what they are trying to go for without having any proper plan, they are trying to purchase. So they are most of the income are they are spending for the buying grocery item, which will every day they are depending. Okay, moving forward. So here the importance of consumer behavior. Okay, the first two importance is the production policy. Why the company are studying the consumer behavior? Because of consumer behavior, the company whatever they are offering a product to end consumer. So if there is no demand, the production is completely waste. So that's what the production policy, individual company they are preparing policy towards the production activity. So the study of consumer behavior, effort, production policy of enterprise. If you try to go for overproduction, that is very danger. If you try to go for underproduction, that is also very danger. So that's what based on the demand only the productions will be standing. So completely the consumer behavior discover the habit, taste, preference of consumer. So why do you want individual company? They want to discover. Okay, they are collecting based on the habits, taste, preference. So that's what the company are offering, a homogeneous product which will suit for every different types of consumers requirement. Such discovery enable an enterprise to plan and develop its product according to this specification based on the demographical factor, based on the habit, taste, preference. When the company are studying before start producing, before offering a product, it is necessary for an enterprise to be a continuously touch with the changes in consumer behavior, so that necessary change in the product may be made, because the consumer taste or preference will be keep on change. So that's what the company want to study based on the consumer behavior. If they start studying the consumer behavior, then they are trying to offer a best product which will suit for the consumer requirement. Second one, price policy. And now there are too many consumer, all they are in sensitive, price sensitive. Okay, sensitive customer means what? They are trying to purchase very cheapest product. Okay, cheap price product that they are purchasing, whatever the compared to competitors what they are offering. So always the pricing policy, when the company are not blindly fixing a price, so if they want to capture the market share, the price is also very important. Okay, so the buying behavior is equally important in having a price policy, the best pricing policy they are selecting. Okay, so here different types of policy we studied, third unit, price and promotion. Okay, the different strategies adapted by the company. The buyer of the some product purchase only because of particular article or cheaper than the competitive article available in the market, because most of them they are giving importance for the quality, most of them they are giving importance to price reductions. Okay, the cost, okay, comparing with the competitors product, because the consumers nowadays, the consumer also educated, they are trying to go for evaluating. Okay, moving forward. So third one, decisions regarding channel of distribution. It's very important, because the channel of distribution also, the availability, your product availability, it is completely depending the channel of distribution. Okay, so the flow, how it is, the production to end consumption, how it is going the product. Okay, so the goods which are sold and solely on the basis of low price must and economical distribution. You need to select the best distribution channel so that you can reach. Okay, so the behavior analysis, for example, any specific consumer, they are planning to purchase today. If there is no availability, the consumer behavior will be changed. So the company want to study, they are giving importance for channel of distribution. In case of those article which weak TV set, refrigerator, okay, so there are too many product, based on the product whatever they are offering, okay, the company offering, the behavior how it is changing. So must have different channel of distribution, because here there are different types of channel of distribution we studied in the last unit. So I think you got a clear idea about the channel of distribution. Thus decisions regarding channel of distribution are taken on the basis of consumer behavior, because the channel of distribution, in case of staple goods, in case of impulse goods, what kind of channel of distributions you are selecting, so to reach the consumption, to reach the consumer. Okay, now fourth one, decisions regarding sales promotion. This is also very important, because you need to influence the consumer, means what kind of sales promotional activity you are doing, okay, to attract the more and more customer. Okay, for example, one specific consumers are they're planning to purchase Onida TV. So after visiting a showroom, their mindset will be changing, because some advertising will be influencing, okay, at the time of taking a decisions, purchasing decision, or attracting the customer, or what offer you are providing for the consumer to buy the specific brand product. Study of consumer behavior is also vital in the marketing decisions regarding sales promotion. Sales promotion, which is a very short period, the company are try to go for sales promotion, so they are not going for the keeping the long term objective, which is only short focus, okay, which is a shotgun approach, you can say here. So it enables the producer to know what motive promote consumer to make a purchase, because whenever you are trying to go for promoting a product using a sales promotional tool, okay, so you are attracting, you are encouraging the customer, you are influencing the customers to buy your company product. And the same are utilized in the promotional campaign to awaken the desire purchase, because unless you are not creating awareness, no one is showing interest, the consumer are not showing interest to purchase your product. So that's why the sales promotion is creating a more and more awareness. Next, fifth one, exploiting marketing opportunity, because you are not standing in the unique platform, you have to go for diverting a different area. So that's what, there is a lot of opportunity which is related to marketing activity. The consumers are how they are getting influence here. So study the consumer behavior, help the marketers to understand the consumer needs, because when you are trying to collect information using a field, marketing field, you are trying to collect information, what exactly marketing research they are doing, they are trying to collect based on the consumer's requirement. Okay, so they are trying to go for studying the based on the consumer needs and aspiration, expectation, the problem, because whatever the product is offered for the, which is completely consumer problem basis only, the company are trying to produce or offering a product to the end consumption. Okay, so this knowledge will be useful to the marketers in exploiting the marketing opportunity and meeting the challenges of the marketing, because we are not only standing alone, because there are too many companies are offering similar kind of product, there is lot of competition. So you need to set a different strategy to approach the consumer, so then only you can survive. That is your nothing which is a challenge when you are offering with the help of market, you are offering a product for end consumer. So consumer, getting consumer, it is very difficult. So that's what you need to face the challenge here. Keep on watch for next section. Thank you.